Hello, and welcome to the lesson Multiplication Word Problems with Variables. In this lesson, we're going to be working on how to determine what kind of math to use in a word problem and writing our equations for the word problems using a variable. So, what is a variable? Really, you've been using a variable your whole life. In the past, you would do a problem such as this: 1 plus blank equals 3. We now are replacing the blank with a variable. What a variable is it's a letter or a symbol that represents an unknown number. In this case, right now, the blank is unknown. We need to solve the problem to find out what is missing. So the variable can represent any unknown number. And if I use a letter, that letter can represent a completely different number in a different problem. Let's take a look at an example of a word problem. Andrew is having his friends over for a game night, so he decides to prepare snacks and games. So that kind of gives us the breakdown. Now, what I like to teach is even before I read the word problem, we like to write down our knowns. Now, a known starts with the letter K because you're using your knowledge, and knowledge is spelt with a K. It's a silent K, but it is there. Same with knowns, it's a silent K in it. So I always write a K. I see the number 4. I see the number 3. And I like to look for the words how many, because the how many is going to be your answer. The letter directly after that labeling is going to be your variable that you're going to use. So what we're really solving for is sandwiches. So I'm going to use the letter S to represent how many sandwiches. So now we're going to read. He started to make mini sandwiches. If he has 4 friends coming over and he made 3 sandwiches for each one of them, how many sandwiches did he make? Now, there's another key word in here that I can find, and that is the word each. Each is a known. Each represents multiplication or division. Those two words, or that word, the math partnerships is multiplication and division. So we need to determine if each of our known numbers are totals or if they are parts. So if he has 4 friends, that's a part, and each one of them gets 3 sandwiches, that's a part. We are trying to find the total amount of sandwiches that Andrew needs to make. Now, if I think of my math mountain, I have my total at the top, and I have a part and a part. When we worked on addition, it would be part plus part equaled the total, or total minus the part equaled the other part. With multiplication and division, it's kind of the same structure. Part times part, or total divided by part. So in this case, I know a part and a part. So the type of math I'm going to use is multiplication. So we can start to write our equation. I'm going to start with 4. I am going to actually get away from using the X as the symbol for multiplication because an X really is a variable and we're going to start using more and more variables. So I'm going to use a dot because that means multiplication also. And I have my 4 times 3 Equals, now this is where you would have put your answer in the past. Now we're going to put a variable. It's going to equal my S, my unknown at the moment. And now we can solve for this S. Well, we could do this problem in a couple of ways. We could do it in equal groups. I have 4 friends, and each friend is getting 3 sandwiches. So I could put 3 dots inside each one. And then I can count how many sandwiches total. Or I can do my skip counting. 3, 6, 9, 12. And I know that Andrew needs to make 12 sandwiches. If you were to do your equations for word problems correctly, you should have an equation with math symbol of what you did to solve your problem. You should have a variable. So right here would have been that equation with a variable. And then we solve for the variable. And we make sure that we have a label. What does that 12 represent? Well, it represents 12 sandwiches. Rewatch the video if you need to. Start trying to create equations using a variable. And good luck on your word problems.